I
saw
don't know.
that.
And we are live.
Mike,
Hello.
join.
Well, we are doing pair programming, and
Yeah.
with I think with a couple of topics. Um, yeah. Well, Matt, maybe you want to start? Is there something you have in mind in particular?
I mean, I can show you like what I'm doing. It's. I don't know that it. I mean, it's really just cleaning up. So I don't know. You saw that I got into the dashboard.
No, I didn't saw that.
Yeah, I sent a message there. I followed the documentation, and there was only one spot that is slightly unclear for me, but it was just didn't take me long to figure it out. It's just like there's saying to run one of the commands from the deployment/DigitalOcean directory, and I had never seen that directory. I don't think in the code base, so I was like, where how can I get to that directory? But then I just typed it deployment and it like appeared right away. So and then everything else was exactly like the documentation said. And I have here somewhere the
Oh, yeah. Okay, no, I get it. You're talking about the deployment with Kubernetes. So you
yes,
have the kubeconfig. That's great.
yep,
And oh yeah, the digital ocean dashboard. Yeah, yeah, I understand. Okay, I get it.
yep,
If you want, so the kubeconfig that you downloaded is valid for 7 days.
okay,
If you want to automate this,
hmm
like downloading, you can create a personal access token,
hmm
and with a proprietary tool, DOCTL, you can download the kubeconfig from your from your account.
okay.
That makes life easier.
Yeah, I remember you had talked about that, and I didn't really understand completely what you were saying, but now it makes more sense. What's the name of the DOCL?
Yeah, so I'll send you the command.
Yeah, cool. Thanks.
You can see it here. So I just put that into the Hangouts. That's the command that I'm running, and you have to sometimes adjust the name of the file that you want to download.
Yeah, if you want staging or production.
Exactly. So Nitro staging or Nitro production.
Cool. Where can I save this? I have no. So I followed your code review and made some changes. I wonder if it's passing now or if it's still running the build.
You also had some questions about the test. Yeah, exactly. That one.
Yeah, let me see if it's passing the build. Should be passing. The test for the backend or the component.
I think you were asking about component tests. No?
I was asking about this test. This is unrelated to uh, what I was doing. I was just I noticed it because I was merging in the stuff for actually in a different PR, a different branch, and I was wondering what the purpose was for adding this because it's not being used anywhere in the test.
No, but so this test will render a page component,
Yeah.
and on startup it's checking is my own or something like
Yep.
that. So it's checking if this user that you're looking at is your own user.
Yep. Yep.
So I think there is they mocked out the store. Is that correct?
Should be. Yeah.
No,
No.
the user. But there is a user, I guess.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just fine because if there's no user, it will be undefined and it will not be. It will evaluate to false, which is fine for
Yeah.
now. But
Actually,
if you don't mock $route dot params, then you will get a null pointer exception when
okay.
you want to render this page component. So mocking out $route is just for making the test happen.
Okay. Because we had seen like where we actually had tried to add this dollar route, but then when we were using it with local view, and then it was throwing some errors when we were running the tests, and then we end up finding this place in the documentation that actually like says not to, if you're using local view, not to, yeah, here, you should never install ViewRouter. Installing ViewRouter adds the route and the router as read-only properties. To avoid this, we can create a local view and install ViewRouter on that. But then it says installing ViewRouter on a local view also adds the route and router as read-only properties to a local view. This means that you cannot use the mocks option to overwrite the route and router when mounting a component. And so we were getting like a bunch of errors when we tried adding the router.
Yeah, exactly. But I think we're not adding the view router in this particular test, do we?
I think we are. It's here. But we're not.
No.
You mean we're not adding it here? Like in the local.
Yeah, could you search for capital V view router? Router.
Yeah. Oh, so it's like, yeah, there's the don't use with ViewRouter.
Yeah, I think you get into situations as soon as you use that. So that's how I understand the documentation. So either use view router as they do here, or mock out dollar router, which is also possible.
Okay. We were looking. Volley and I were looking at this test today, actually, because this entire test, like we kind of we having a better look at it, we realized that all of these tests are kind of not really relevant now with the PR that he put in, and maybe weren't really good to have added in the first place. But then instead of just deleting this entire file and then having, the same situation where we had nothing testing the slug, we had to call it a day. So he had to go and I had to eat, and we just skipped these tests here. And tomorrow, I guess we're going to come in here and we're going to add tests for other things. And so this might come in handy when we actually do bring in the user from the store.
Yeah, that will be probably that will probably come in handy, because you can add the user from the store, and then you can, for example, test for is my own profile. That should work. The test cases that you highlighted are, I think, completely redundant, or let's say broken. In fact, they are false negatives. So test is passing, but it shouldn't be. And that's because you're basically, the test is not doing anything, because you're invoking the delete callback directly in the test, and it would never be called in reality, because it's called delete post callback, and you're not deleting a post in the user profile, in the content value that's rendered in the user profile. You might delete the post if you click on the postcard, but you're using shadow mount, so postcards are just stopped out. So there's no way of removing posts here in this test.
So we are gonna refactor that tomorrow to do away with those tests, and it's not really even happening in there anymore. So this is passing the build, and I'm not on the branch anymore. So I guess maybe I just leave this. I followed the advice and I created these as checkboxes, and then
I think it's fine to have ugly checkboxes for now and not use Bulma. So you wanted to add Bulma because they have styled checkboxes.
Well, it was mostly for the Switch, really, to be honest. Was the original, because I think Switches are a little bit more difficult. But like, I'll show you what I think I have a. I have a screenshot of it, even though I don't have it. This is, this is what they look like now.
So is it how they look like right now, or did you style it yourself?
Yeah, this I styled myself. Well, when I say I styled myself, I kind of copied and pasted from W3 Schools, and then I modified it to work with our color profile and stuff.
I would say it looks decent enough. I mean, ideal solution, as you know, update style guide.
Yeah. Well, I'm having a pairing session with Greg tomorrow, I think, where I talked to him about that I would like, because there's a bunch of CSS like in that file now that we just don't need, like in that file. It has nothing, it has to do with styling the checkboxes, and that we have a style guide that we could style the checkboxes, and then we don't need, you can just say DS checkbox and it will come with the style that is, where we want all of our checkboxes to look like.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna try to pair with him tomorrow. Hopefully that happens.
Nice.
And this is not 100% updated because I made some changes, like to this, you can't manage and can't recover your account post ... and took out the ... and put like comma or comments. And I did some other things, like I'll take a screenshot and do a GIF that shows the and then I also, the other big thing that I did, to follow your advice, is I changed the attribute deleted to true, so that it actually, they now show up as well. Actually, I don't know if maybe it's not exactly the way you wanted. The comments still do show up. They just show up as anonymous, which is not.
Oh, interesting.
Right. Yeah, I thought
it might be a bug because we don't have so many deleted posts. So yeah. I don't know what the behavior is with deleted posts, honestly.
No, it was the comments that I was talking about.
Yeah, so that's fine. If you have a deleted comment, the user should be anonymous and the comment should be deleted, like it should be empty, and there should be just a placeholder saying, okay, this comment was deleted.
Okay, so that's something that I need to do still then, because
actually, if you delete a comment, I mean, what's different now? How does behavior differ?
I mean, the way it differs is, like, so far as it still shows the comment. It just shows, like, the moderator can see it was, well, actually, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know, because I didn't, when I went in, I'll have to check, because what I did was I logged in as Jenny Rostock, the user at example.org, and then I said delete my comments and delete my account, and then it logged me out. So then I logged in as moderator, and the moderator can still see that there was a comment there that was there, and it's like has a red border on it. But I didn't log in as an actual other user, like Tick or Tack or something, which is what I should do to see what they see,
Yeah. So okay. So I think you just exposed a bug. When I was implementing the middleware that takes care of obfuscating the content of a post, obfuscating content of a comment for disabled comments and posts, which still have all the data in the database, but it should just not be exposed to a normal user, but to a moderator. I was only taking into account the disabled property, okay? Because regarding the delete, I wasn't quite sure how the behavior should be. And concerning GDPR, I guess the data has to be deleted, right? So if you say, I want my data to be deleted, then the text must be also deleted in the database itself. That's what I think.
Yeah.
So it should really be wiped out. The only thing we can...
I was wondering about that.
So the moderator will also see the deleted text, like the actual text, but there's just nothing there, like this text was deleted or this comment was deleted or anything like that, right? So the moderator doesn't have additional permissions to see more because it's not there anymore.
Yes. Okay.
But it would make sense to have something to indicate, well, some time ago there was something here to not break the conversation, right? If you just delete the comment, let's say you have a conversation with 4 comments, and then you delete one out of like the second or third comment, then maybe the other comments were responses to that, and then you cannot follow the conversation anymore. If you see, okay, there was a comment deleted, this is fine. And regarding the posts, I'm not really sure what the behavior is. So I guess you will not see any deleted or disabled posts in your newsfeed. And I don't know what happens if you, for example, type in the exact URL. Let's say you have linked that post somewhere on an external site, and the link is still pointing to that post, and the ID is maybe valid, right?
Yeah.
So then I wouldn't know. What should happen. I guess you should just get 404, but I'm not sure. I mean, 404 would be reasonable. I don't know. I have to think about it. Can I get back in 2 minutes?
Yes, of course.
Cool.
Quanto você vendeu? Por quanto? Hã? Ah, legal.
Ela pediu 150.
Boa. E o cara do fogão, nada.
Eu nem postei minha bike. Eu
Nossa.
nem postei.
Assim.
Eu tirei a foto pra postar, daí eu entrei no Face e vi essa moça colocou a de bike aqui na região do Campeche. Daí eu mandei mensagem pra ela, mandei as fotos e ela gostou. Não sei se eu falo pra ela vir aqui ver pra bike, entendeu? Ela falou que foi tirada, eu vim aqui daqui a pouco. Bom que vai pra mulher, gostei. E tá vindo já pegar bike. Ai, gente, não tô preparada pra dar bike.
E o que? Você vai usar a minha?
Vou ficar no pé.
Ah, não. Não dá. Olha lá.
Vou arrumar tudo. Mas o que eu vou fazer que eu preciso de bike?
Qualquer coisa, né? É a última semana. Se você precisa ir para o supermercado, se você precisa ir para falar lá com...
Ai, vem pra ela quinta-feira. Olha, cadê? Não queria entrar na cedo.
Ela não pode buscar depois?
Sabe, depois ela vem pra ela.
No. So this is what happens currently if you're a user and you're looking at the thing. So it has
I could hear another voice.
Yes.
Paula.
Yes, she's here.
Hello.
Wow.
Hello.
Hello.
She's shy.
Oh. I'm looking forward to meet you in Berlin.
Yes, it'd be really nice. I need to put it in here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You don't have camera. Why are you asking me to come here? Now you have.
Hi.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. After a while.
Yeah, it's just the voice behind and some like shades passing around.
Shadow passing.
Yeah. Does Matt have his speakers turned on? Usually, yes. All right.
Yes.
So you've heard my voice.
Yes, I kind of recognize a lot of people from the voice.
Oh wow, nice.
I can't. Yeah, I was talking to Wally the other day about that, and like He always has headphones on. I'm always here. When she gets annoyed, she comes in here and closes the door, and goes there and puts music on.
Yeah.
I see. All right.
Let me go. I just sold my bike, and the girl's coming here to pick it up.
You just sold your bike today.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad because I really love my bike, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Matt told me that you're moving. What does that actually mean? Like you're moving? Like, can you explain it? I mean, you're
We are
selling your
moving
bike
to.
now. Do you mean by you're moving? You're moving like you're leaving the house, or like forever, or what do you mean? Oh, really?
Yeah.
No way!
Yeah, we are selling everything and packing and just moving.
I am too late. I wanted
Yeah,
to.
it's difficult
I
because
wanted to
we rent
meet
the
you
house,
in.
so we can't just pay for 3 months and don't be here.
Well, we
So
Yeah.
could, but we don't know if we're coming back.
yeah,
Because like we that was the original idea. Is maybe we could pay for the 3 months because it works out to like 2,500 AI, something like that. So I don't know in euros is like I don't know 800 euro, less than 800 euro, like 600 euros. But then we thought, okay, we talked to her and we thought maybe we can actually find some people Airbnb who can come. We move out all of our stuff and people can come and stay and we can kind of recoup some of the money. But then we were talking to our neighbor and he's like, dude, 3 months in Europe is going to pass like this, and you're going to be crazy there. You're like, okay, what do I need to do to stay for another 3 months, So then maybe that's going to happen. And then also
we don't know.
we have the green card for Paula that we already kind of are moving to the United States, So maybe
You
in
have
3
the green
months.
card already?
No, not yet.
No.
But we think maybe in 3 months we might be close. And then so we could come back here and we could visit family for a month or two. And then maybe we move to the United States.
Mhm.
Do you have
Yeah.
something like a progress bar for the green card, or is it just like you never know when it will be ready?
I don't know. It's like a soap opera. I
Yeah.
call it the Mexican soap opera because it's taking like 2 years. And it's a long time.
I talked to the lawyer and they said the updated waiting time is for that step we're in is 10 to 12 months.
Matt, what comes to my mind right now? We are broadcasting.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
And I'm here in the middle of the talk.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna leave you guys.
No, it's all right. I find it super interesting. It's just for you to keep in
Yeah.
mind.
Yes.
Do you mind if this is going to be streamed to YouTube?
I'm more used to like sharing my life on YouTube than Paul
you
is.
are.
She's like, why do I have to tell everyone everything?
No, but I need to go. She's
Okay.
coming. I want to say goodbye to my bike.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
See you soon.
I'm really looking forward to it. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Anyways, I've seen how many times people watch our videos, and it's not very many. So
Yeah, but just a matter of precaution. What's out there is usually hard to get in or to get back.
Yeah, it's true. I was just. Am I sharing my screen? Yeah. So I was just showing you. This is the current behavior for comments, which is like what we want, except for it's not styled, But
yeah, but this is perfect. This is just fine.
Yeah, and I guess there's already a ticket to style each of the comments like in a better way. So I think maybe that will be addressed in that ticket. I don't know. But this is what happens on posts.
Yeah. Well, this is perfect. This post could not be found. Great. Fine. What did I want to say? Yeah. Could you go back to the deleted comments? So as you can see, it's telling you this comment is not available anymore, and having a very generic message here is on purpose. Like this is set purposely, because if a comment is disabled or if a comment is deleted, the reason why the comment is not there anymore is not really relevant,
No.
right? So we don't want to expose that to the public.
Yeah.
So if comments get disabled by people, other users should not really know that this user has a lot of disabled comments or something, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he's like, I don't know, posting strange stuff or something or anything that violates the terms of services. So
Yeah.
this is something that is rather
Yeah, I agree with that.
could be to put on public too much. So if you
The
delete
only
the
thing I would
comment, you
question
would
about this is like this dot 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 at the beginning is kind of confusing for me, because typically like this dot 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 for me like means that there's something that comes before this part of the, so it'd be like what would come before this comment is not available anymore.
remove. No problem.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you should put this into italics. So this comment is not available anymore. That's not so you can immediately see this is not the text of the comment, but it's just a message, a placeholder.
So I think I think that actually the delete comment the delete comment functionality is not exactly what we want, as I think I brought up in that ticket, because the delete comment does that, it deletes the comment, and really what we want to do with the comments then is we want to do the same thing where we set the comment dot or resource dot delete to true.
I was not paying attention. So the setting it's setting the delete to true. That's not what we want, or is it? It is what we want.
No, it's delete. It's not at the moment. What's merged in for the delete comments is just deleting the comments. Whereas I think what we want, if we come here to the back end, and then we go to SRC. I don't know why I'm doing it here. I can do it here. I already have the latest here in master. SRC schema, resolvers, comments here. Then if I come here to delete comment, it just deletes the comment,
Yeah, no, that's not what we want.
No, so I think we need to refactor this to do similar to what I did, which is to set this like resource dot delete equals true.
Yep.
And then I don't know about you, but like I mean I'm kind of interested in I'm kind of hoping that what I've done so far with this delete account is sufficient and can get merged in. And then I think that dealing with the CSS of the comment list is a separate ticket.
Yes, absolutely. Do you want to have the resolver for delete comment part of this PR, or do you want to get it merged before?
I mean, I could, but I think I think as well, it's not really part of the delete data. I'm trying to. I think I was talking to Volley today. I think it's maybe I'm the one that's most worried about this, but also I know that you make an effort as well, which I said to him but I'm trying to avoid code creep like as much as possible.
Yes, yes, please.
So I even favor, opening. I opened up 3 small bugs today that it was very tempting for me to just deal with, but I controlled myself. Like, for example, here, this comment by post. I think I mentioned this, but I don't know if you knew what I was talking about. This is not being used anywhere, and so it should just be removed. But if I remove it here, then whoever's reviewing it is going to need to ask themselves questions about why it was removed in the ticket to dealing with the account.
Connection dropped for a second. You comment by post. This can be 100% replaced with this filter attribute, right? So you just want to get the comment for all the comments for a particular post. Is that correct?
Yeah, but so this was added by me, like when I was doing the create comment, and I added it, and then now it's just not used at all. Like, and So yeah, there's probably a better way of doing it with the filters, but it's just not used at all. Like you can see here, I've searched for it, and the only place that it exists.
Right. Yeah, okay, cool. But we're getting sidetracked. So I'm still don't get. What do you want to be part of the PR now? Do you want to have it to make it part of the PR to not delete the data, just mark it as deleted and delete the attributes? Is that what you want to put in as part of the PR?
Yeah, I mean,
styling later.
What I have pushed up is I think ready. I mean, another review, but assuming the review there's no other changes, then I think it's ready to be merged in. And then I would suggest opening up a separate ticket to deal with the delete comments, not actually deleting the comment, but just setting delete to true.
But if the UI currently, if you delete your account along with your data, no comments will be deleted. It will just be replaced with
yes.
All right. So you're talking about maybe we don't want to have delete comment. Right. Yeah, you still have the resolver because you might want to delete that particular comment, right?
Yeah.
I see.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's fine. If this is if anything you added just deletes it's behaving as it should, but you discovered that this particular resolver deletes the comment entirely, that's fine. Just didn't allow work on that particular feature?
No, it was Volley. Yeah.
Oh, Volley was working on it. All right.
And that was I think before we had this conversation about that. I mean, actually, I think it's something that we all agree on because he's mentioned that as well. It just happens to be that it was implemented in a way that just completely deletes the comment and removes it from the list. And then, as you say, like it means that people reading it afterwards will lose context of why a person responded in a way that has, that doesn't seem to make any sense,
Yeah. So the delete your data feature is ready to be reviewed again and ready to be merged.
Yeah.
Could you request the code review from my side?
Should I upload a GIF, or do you want to have a look at it?
No,
now?
I think I will check out the code and have a look at it.
Okay, I'll just delete this. Let's say I want to delete just my comments, for example. Delete data, pushes you there, and then now example.org. Oh, sorry. Then I still have. Then I have anonymous here because I asked for my post to be deleted. No, I asked for my account to be deleted, but not my post. So it still says, it still shows my post, but then I think, I don't know where the comments are, but you saw what the comments look like. So I will ask for a review since it's passing.
All right, request the code review for me, please.
Yep. I don't know what's up with this. I pulled in the latest changes from master, and it looks like
it should be in there.
It looks like it's downgrading.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I can come here and pull in the latest changes again. Is it?
You can click on this file. Can you say view file on GitHub and then click on history? History. So last commit, probably this merge commit. And then if you click on that commit, the changes should show up.
Doesn't touch.
Okay, so it's touching other dependencies. So maybe that's the next commit. So you can go back and click on. Yeah. Maybe that was my mistake. Yeah, no, Prettier. Prettier is fine. I think you have to go back again.
I was just gonna see if get full origin master. And yeah, you can see it's already up to date.
Yeah.
So back.
GitHub should have a nice list when you
here.
want to scroll the history.
Apollo cache in memory. So this is where it was upgraded to 1.62.
Yeah, this is what we want. So where does it get downgraded?
I don't know. It's a good question. So here, this upgrade. Here. No. Here. Nope.
Huh? This is impossible.
I'm very confused.
I was super confused.
If it says there's no changes, then how? Don't know. Your file.
Do we still? I maybe confused because there might be more than one package.json.
Yeah, I thought about that, but then I think it's See here, it's 1.61.
You can also say git blame on line number 46 and just see which commit changed that particular. Yeah, just click on blame.
Oh.
I think that's much easier because you were dealing with one line of code only.
Yeah. Okay, so here.
No, you can click on view file and then blame.
Okay, so come down here. Apollo cache 1.60 to 1.61.
Ah, that's interesting. So someone merged in Apollo an upgrade to Apollo 6.2 or something, 1.62.
Yeah.
But then there was a merge from 1.60 to 1.61, and in the end, it looks like as if it's downgrading. So master is interesting. So master has gone up to 6.2. You managed to upgrade it to 6.1 somehow from 6.0. And if you merge those two, then your feature branch wins.
It's saying it like so.
Yeah.
So if I come here to master and I come to backend and then backend come to package.json and then come to the same line here.
Yeah, 1.6.2. Just upgrade it to 1.6.2, run yarn install, and check in the code. Problem solved.
Here we go, 5 days ago. Yeah, so but it's just weird why it's not upgrading. Like, why can't I just do git full origin master?
Because your commit has won. So I guess during the merge of an earlier commit, the commit that was upgrading it to 6.1 has won over the commit that updated it to 6.2. So I guess that's why. So your commit that won knows the other commit already, and then it doesn't change anything because it knows the other commit already. All right.
Okay, so I'll ask for a review, and then there's one other one that I was working on, which is the languages, but I guess maybe I was just changing the. I think the only thing that I was trying to do is change the styling of it, but maybe when you review it, you'll see other things. Yes, dash pop. But I think it's kind of ready for me to push this up. I tested already my profile.
So this is the default language of a post. Is that correct?
Yeah, it has a default language, and you can also choose the language that you want.
I didn't even know that posts already have languages. How did you find out?
Well, when you say already have languages, you mean like in the alpha or in the nitro?
I know that the posts have languages in the alpha version, but I didn't know that they have a language attribute in our version.
No, this PR introduces it.
Oh, all right. Okay, cool.
So it's like back end and front end, and this is what I just added these styling changes to limit the size of the drop down and to add the label. And then if you like switch to Deutsch, for example, it automatically updates the placeholder. And if you don't choose anything, then it'll choose like the whatever your locale is. So if you have to explicitly change it,
Right, great. Yeah, I like it. But yes, so that would also mean that if the UI is translated into 10 languages, any user that writes a post in a language where the UI is not translated into, you cannot change that anymore, right? I mean, just saying, it might be that we have users who speak also, right, from South Africa or something,
Yeah.
and we don't have it in our language list.
Yes. Well, I mean, that's another. I guess that's another limitation is that actually the language options right now are just Deutsch and English.
Ah.
But yeah, like no, but you're right. Like if it gives a fallback language, then the post language could be like set to Portuguese, for example. But then like but they won't be able to actually choose that from the drop down.
Yeah, would it be a solution to have a blank? Blank that you can choose. So if you write a post, language of the post will be set to your current locale by default. But let's say you are absolutely sure that you don't want to write a post in neither English or German, then you could add a blank, and then at least it's not attributed in the wrong way.
Well, it wouldn't be like it might be confusing for the user because like if they open this and they see like, oh, my language is not available, and then they click out of it, it will have like this placeholder that says Deutsch, but it will create the post with the language code of wherever you are, Portuguese, for example. And then you would be able to in like whenever it's available, people would be able to filter for posts in Portuguese, and your post would show up. The only thing that would happen is if you wrote it in Portuguese and you specifically chose English, for example, then it would show up in the English. So then
I don't get it. I don't get it. Is it hard to implement all languages?
I don't think it's hard. I don't think it's hard. It's just adding options to the contribution form.
So I think there are two problems here. Like the first problem is this dropdown has only 2 languages. That's problem number one. Maybe we can even implement like basically all languages of the world in a dropdown.
Yeah,
that's not if that's not an overkill.
Yeah.
And the other problem is forcing the user to select at least one language. And I think
I think that we don't force them to choose a language. Like the language appears at first. The language appears as a placeholder, and if the person doesn't choose a language, then it gets created in the database with wherever their local location is. So the post does,
this is not visible to the user. I mean, if your browser is set to Portuguese and you don't change this language dropdown, then you will see Deutsch as the selected language, which doesn't make a lot of sense, especially if you as a user, you think that you write a post in German, but in fact, what your browser is sending to the backend is Portuguese, right? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe, yeah, that might be true. Like, I mean, interestingly, in my location, for some reason the locale is set to English. So I think the locale is not set by the browser. I think it's set by whatever you've chosen here in the drop down, you know?
Yeah, right, absolutely. So choosing the right
Oh, look,
locale.
it even changes to Portuguese here.
Yes. So, all right.
Even though it's not an option for you to choose, you can kind of choose Portuguese if you choose this, you know?
This is interesting. Okay.
I mean, I think the easiest thing would be to grab all of these from here, like that we have available, and just add them to this language option.
Well, that would be absolutely a must for now, right?
Yeah.
But your browser has a language that is set to, and it's not only a language, a locale, which is more than just the language, because you have English in the US, in Great Britain, in South Africa, in Australia, and India. And they might have different settings for date and currency and so on.
Yep.
That's the locale. So you have, for example, yen-US. That would be
English from the
miles instead of kilometers, and so on.
I think this is. I haven't tested it though, but I think this dot i18.locale is not pulling from the browser's information. It's pulling from whatever the user has chosen here.
Yeah, hang on. If the user does not choose anything, then this language in the top right corner will select the best option that it's trying its best to take the language from the browser, right? Navigate a language. If it's a language that we don't support, then it will default to, I think it will default to English. Maybe it will default to German. I don't know. So, but if you write the post, I mean, we can only support those languages that we have translations of.
Yeah.
Okay. So that might be only 8 languages at most. I mean, 8 languages also is already pretty great.
Yeah.
But if you have a user who, for example, speaks English and Hindi, and this user wants to write a post in Hindi, he or she can use the UI in English and write a post in Hindi. So the languages from the language chooser menu, the limits that apply there don't apply to the language that you can choose when you select the language of your own post. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And the behavior of this $i18n locale is bound to the supported languages, right? So all the languages that we have in the locales folder. Actually, if you go to locale/index.js, then you can see that we support a limited number of languages.
Locale switch?
Maybe it's locale switch, but I think there's an index file. Well, where's locale? Where does it import from? Can you scroll up?
There's find by, order by.
Okay, so not here, but I see
there's locales here.
Oh, there is index.js.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is it. So this is the array of supported languages for our UI. And that's not too many, right? English, German, Dutch, French,
5, 6, 7, 8.
Portuguese, Polski, Spanish, and Italian. Do we have Russian actually? Can you check?
No.
No. All right. But yeah, so that's the point here. I mean, for all of these languages, if you add another language here, you have to translate all the entire UI to that language. We might do that in the future. And it would be a shame if we couldn't filter for posts with a given language. If it's hard for me to explain it in words, but I hope you get that the limitations here don't necessarily apply to the limitations there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think you should not use this $i18n locale for the language chooser menu. I think Well, you can use it as a fallback. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
No. You should not use it as a fallback because. Good question, actually. I think I would use as a fallback. I would use indeed the language of the. Difficult.
Because I think that, like, if they're in the scenario that you were talking about, like if they're reading it in English, because that's the one that's supported that they understand, but they want to write the post in Hindi. If we have the option for them to be able to choose that from the drop down, then that would take precedent. But if we don't have it, then it would take precedent whatever they're actually using the site and what language they're using the site.
Yeah, I think it's fine to use this I18N locale as fallback because if we would know if the user has selected the locale from the drop-down menu or not, then this would make a difference. But I think we cannot really know that, and so I would say using this $I18N as fallback is fine. However, the list of all available languages should be more than what we have for.
Two.
Yeah, this certainly should be more than 2.
But then, so yeah, we need to find a way to like import it from somewhere and then iterate over it and add the label and the value, because like this label and value doesn't correspond with, it corresponds with name and code.
But isn't there maybe I guess this $I18N, the framework that we use, has the language list. I'm very sure.
There's this one here, languages list, but I can, yeah, I mean, obviously if we're already using
check out what we have for the locales, and I think maybe they have an array of all languages defined somewhere that we can just import and reuse. And of course, I mean, if you have like 200 languages, maybe you don't want to have drop down with 200 languages.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to search through it or something. And if it's too complicated, take the 8 languages that we use for the language chooser menu, and that's it. I mean, it is a start. Don't make it too complicated. If you would have to add search input to make it usable, maybe just limit the number of languages to the number of languages that we use for the UI. This is good enough, I would say.
Yeah.
And you saw the index.js module. You could easily cycle through, or iterate through this array and take out the key code or whatever the attribute is called.
Yeah, it like because this is just a array of objects, and then iterate through each of the objects and take language.name and add it to here to the label, for example, and then language.code here to the value.
Yep. So that would be the quickest solution and an acceptable, absolutely acceptable solution.
Okay, I'll have a look. There's, in the meantime, I'm coming up with I did find a stop at object.keys. Oh yeah, I saw this earlier. Get locales method.
All right, Matt, could you change the driver maybe?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm currently working on this issue here, re-enable Cypress, and I was thinking, how can we avoid running out of quota if I re-enable it? So first thing is, as far as I remember, we had the Cypress token as a hidden environment variable, which caused troubles on forks.
Yeah.
Now it's not hidden anymore, and we just trust people that they don't access our quota, which I think is
Although I would mention that like we still have that same problem with other with other tokens. Like Andrew, for example, he put in a PR from a fork, and it would never pass the build. So I had to get in contact and say, hey, listen, we can't really support putting in PRs from forks at the moment. Can you please just push it directly to the repo? And he did that and opened up a different PR.
Do you know which one it is?
Maybe CodeCov? I'm not sure, to be honest.
Yeah, that would be my first guess, because apart from that, I don't see really, like, this is used on deployment, which should never happen on forks.
Yeah.
This is also not only happening on deployments. This is an decrypting an encrypted file.
Yeah, it's
so
gotta be code.
Yeah, certainly it must be CodeCov.
And I'm not sure. I mean, is it something that it seems like that would probably be, like, I can understand the Cypress is not that big of a secret, but maybe.
How about that? I think. Then else echo no CodeCov environment or env is not set, else CodeCov. Yeah, so the then block is the block when it's not set, whereas the else block is if it is set. So having this is, well, as far as I know, should.
That -z means not, or
Yeah, that's checking if the environment variable is not set.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just a little bit unsure if the YAML file accepts this the syntax. Maybe we have to escape this, but I mean,
Is it Travis?
We can try. This is Travis, yeah.
Travis? You can use you have a Travis linter. You can just say Travis lint and then pass in the travis.yaml, and it'll tell you if it's valid or not. I don't know if you have
GAM Travis.
I don't know if it's I don't remember how I installed it. Let me see if I have that here. Yes, I think so. I definitely have a Java install Travis. I really like that about the fish. Although I didn't end up using bash today when I was running the kubectl command from the documentation, because it was like upset about like using variables in fish, and so I just ended up using bash.
Oh yeah. Although, yeah, the snaps. The snap is a recently introduced feature of Travis, where you can, like, snap seems to be some kind of package manager for Ubuntu or Debian-based systems, and or Linux. I think generic Linux. It's like the one package manager for all Linux distributions. And then, yeah, this is how you can install it from Snap. So it's not complaining about these items. So I guess I can just ignore it, right?
Yeah, I there's some that I end up ignoring, but it looks like what you added is not a problem.
All right, so then let's check out -b and add maybe one more commit to also fix a problem on forks. Update. Well, how should we call it? Well, let's just call it as the issue. Or re-enable Cypress and fix builds on forks. How about that? So now this should enable builds on forks. Encrypted environment vars are not available on forks of our repo. Using CodeCoff will effectively fail the build because it's missing environment variable. How is this telling enough?
Yep, that is.
And now same thing again. But this time with is there a way of setting environment variables globally?
I don't know. Not that I know of.
Yeah, one build will trigger for each line in the env array. So that's not what I want. So I guess if we use a env, then we have to define everything in one. We have only one Cypress retry. That's awesome. Any more environment variable that we set explicitly somewhere? No. So, let's remove that one first. Cypress. Define variables globally. If we have to define more than one env var, we have to specify all them in one line. Otherwise, it will trigger multiple builds. See. Okay. And finally, we could, yeah. So what I actually wanted to do is I want to, since the Cypress token, I mean, even the code coverage token, can't we just set it, also make it public?
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know that it's a problem.
I mean, what could possibly happen?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe I can push up the commits and then ask Ulf in a comment or something, and also asking code review and see what he thinks about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I like simple solutions, and probably people can spam our code coverage, but I mean, we would see it then, no?
Yes.
Yeah. So what I would like to do is actually I don't want to run this the recording only on master, because I think it will yield the most. It will have the most benefit if we run it on pull request, because that's where tests might fail.
Yep.
But what I think is that the Dependabot polls, the Dependabot pull request will be will exceed the quota quite quickly. So my idea is to just filter out all the Dependabot pull requests, which are fairly easy to notice because they have Dependabot / in the name of the branch.
Yep.
So I was thinking, maybe we can set the environment based on the branch. Nice. This is actually interesting. I like that. I like it.
If it's a pull request, then run it. If not, then
yeah, and they are just exporting it in the script, and I think I like that solution a lot. So we could also export Cypress retries, no? How about that? Yeah, I think I like this more. Branch and Cypress price. From source, let's give some credit to the author. There. Okay, now what we have to do is we want to check if Cypress is, branch must be set now, and we want to check if it contains a particular word. Bash inf var contains string. Interesting. So let's give it a test. So git branch A. I will check out that one. Git checkout up. And now he's telling me and just do no. Can just do something like Branch equals depender bot.
You're staying in a hostel?
Well, hostel slash hotels. Yeah, quite upscale. Now, how would you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Upscale. Yeah.
How do you know?
I just hear the background noise, and it reminds me of staying in hostels.
Where did you stay in hostels?
I started. I think the first hostel I stayed in was in New Zealand, actually, and then I stayed in hostels a lot in New Zealand and then in Australia and in Brazil. I've stayed in a few.
Have you been to Europe before?
No, never.
Oh,
Crazy.
indeed.
Yeah.
I think Europe is, regarding culture and then countries and landscape and everything, nature, it's pretty diverse.
Yep. Yep. I'm pretty excited.
Okay, so it doesn't work. I am on a Dependabot branch and it's telling me not on Dependabot. Oh, I'm so stupid.
You have the not equal to, yeah.
And they have double square brackets. I have no idea what single and double square brackets mean in Bash.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not really good at this. It's like with scripting, no, or like Bash scripts, right?
Oh, and branch is not set. Yeah, I mean, then it's failing correctly. Yes, great. I was kind of confused why the code is gone until I realized I I checked out another branch before.
What's happening? Oh yes.
Yarn run Cypress run. Will it pass the command line parameters into the script? I guess it won't. We can see. Oh, I can omit the key flag. Well, that would be even greater. Although we couldn't set it conditionally. Is there a way to say don't record?
I think you just would remove the record flag if you don't record, right?
Yeah, I think that's much better. So, although not quite intuitive, so what we have to do is we Cypress record key.
I'll be right back. Just if I can kind of still hear you, but
Não, ainda não.
Well, just a couple of reservations still pending, so it's hard to say if they might come in more than that or. Well, normally, like, if the person doesn't have a room, then we can just stay here, but of course, it's not usually out in the street. Did you check in the other
I'm back.
What do you think about it?
What about?
The three new lines here. Is it easy to understand? What do you think? Do you see it?
Yes. This unset Cypress record key is basically going to pass in then undefined or something.
Unset is bash for removing environment variables. So you can
Yeah.
say export
And unset.
something, and then you say echo blah, and then you see it. But if
Yeah.
you unset, oh yeah, in Fish it might not work.
No, doesn't look like it.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we don't even have to put in a dollar symbol.
So then it'll basically still run with the command like record, but because it doesn't have a Cypress record key, it just won't record.
Yeah, that's what I assume. Maybe we should move the commits around and have that tested before we do this. What do you think?
Define variable before the defining environment variable.
Yeah, I would like to have to see the Cypress tests being uploaded.
Yep.
Cypress is looking for a environment variable by default.
There should be on your bed, there should be white bed sheet. And can you sleep on the bed?
See, so I guess all what we have to do is to give the env var another name. I also added a measure to avoid running out of quota. Disable recording if dependabot just updates dependencies. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So git log and git rebase origin master interactive. Okay. I think I'll abort this and start it again. Come on. So squash. Actually, why not? We could make a visual separator here. And that's a lovely commit message, I would say. Now it's looking as I wanted to. Yeah, okay. So I'm checking out temporary branch here, checking out the old branch, and then I will git reset that commit hard push. Yeah, so I will only push one commit for now to see the build server in action.
What's this -u do?
It's creating an upstream branch, so it's just connecting my local branch with the remote branch.
Right.
Okay, let's go to pull requests. And there it is. Yeah, looks okay to me, I would say. Ulf also wants me to be assigned to all pull requests, right? That are authored.
All right.
I don't know. That was more a question.
I don't. I'm not sure. Not that I know of.
Okay.
I don't think I don't explicitly assign myself. Like I think doesn't GitHub has like some, doesn't it assign you if you put in a PR for associated with an issue?
No. It will assign me as the author of the pull request, but it will not assign me just like that. That's what I have to do manually.
All right. Maybe I'm thinking of waffle functionality.
Maybe it's good if we fix the fork problem in a separate pull request. What do you think, Matt?
I would think that would be better. I think I prefer having issues that are related but not. I mean, it's actually not directly related to the Cypress stuff. Although I think it's like it gets a little tricky when we were talking about it earlier today with Volley, where we were saying that like it with the code coverage in place, sometimes like we were thinking of removing the those tests that are like not doing anything. But then it's like then to get it merged in, it will fail the code coverage check. And so then it's like, okay, well let's write tests that have nothing to do with the PR that you're putting in, so that it doesn't fail the code coverage. But that like introduces code creep, which is a problem as well. So I'm not sure really.
Yeah, I find the version and environment section especially unhelpful.
Which section?
The A version and environment section.
Yeah, me too. I'm kind of always deleting it, but then I think it's helpful depending on what it is that you're like. I'm sure there's some people that find it helpful, but
So what I'm supposed to do now, this morning they were adding a milestone. They were adding it to a milestone and they called it enhancements.
yeah, I think so. But I think the milestone you can only have one, can't you?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm kind of confused. Why
I think the
why do they
release
even use milestones at all?
I think the milestone is like adding it to the sprint, and the release is adding it to like. But I don't know. Maybe is there
Yeah.
like a
I think it's silly to have a nitro enhancement milestone. Oh, thank God. No. No. My bug report description is gone.
yeah.
Yes. Oh,
That's frustrating.
yeah. So
Especially for a small issue.
let's create the bug report first before we do anything else. All right. So yeah. So what I wanted to say is like I find it very silly to have a milestone for example, ideas or coming soon or enhancements. Like no. I would like to have one milestone if we are in a sprint, and that's it. I think that's what releases are for, just to have some kind of.
So I was gonna say I don't know that like you have to specifically create the those milestones, or like everything that's released is a milestone.
Yeah, the release is a feature by ZenHub, while milestone is a GitHub feature.
Right. Okay.
So maybe there is a corresponding milestone for the releases, but certainly it's not assigned to the milestone, because then you could have two releases for one issue. Okay, fair enough. I would say this is fine for now. I think we can leave the issue open, and maybe mention Ulf. I think code cough depends on encrypted variables. Is that correct? Comments. There we go. Okay, next. Let's see what the build server looks like. So we already passed the script. Start of the script.
Can I ask you a question while you're doing that? Like, would you, if I'm like, I'm working on this contribution form to add languages, I there's like, it's tempting to jump in and do like some styling while I'm doing it, but it's not directly related to the language. Would you hold off on that and have like a ticket specifically for styling it, or are we like do a little bit of styling as we go, or how would you handle that?
Like,
'Cause, like,
you're asking why did I not add the pull request immediately and instead just asked Ulf about it?
no, sorry, I was distracting you with the stuff that the post creation stuff with the languages.
So I'm watching your screen now.
Yeah.
You're talking about something that you see on your screen?
Yeah. So like I've added languages and I've added some styling. Like there's a border on, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a border on top, you know. Now there's like all the languages in the drop down. And then like I'm kind of looking at the alpha and I'm seeing there's like a border on the bottom as well. There's like a background color that's different where the buttons are. And I'm thinking like, oh, I could do that in this, but then it's like not related to adding
No.
languages.
No,
So-
I would do it in a different pull request.
Okay,
It's
cool.
better for transparency. It makes code reviewing so much easier
Yeah. Okay.
to have things step by step.
It avoids code creep.
It's not only and it's not only you. It's your code reviewer too. So think about consider your code reviewer when adding more lines of code.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so now I'm looking back on my screen, and do I see is export Cypress retest works, export branch works too, and command echo Travis branch, yeah, that works too. So we can see the log output. That's the branch. PR is not set, and branch environment variable is the same. Exactly, which makes totally sense. So if we scroll further down, Cucumber has passed already, and there it is. So
it's always going to exit with a code with a 0 because we wanted to continue the build and not fail the build based on that.
So
it's just going to either run with or run without the.
This is interesting. This project has been configured to record runs on our dashboard. Is it what you're talking about?
You also provide your record key, but you did not pass the record flag.
Oh.
Because we removed it, right?
Yeah. Okay. I see. So. Okay. So this environment variable is just to omit the key, the flag -- key.
Yeah.
But we still have to add -- record to make it record.
Yeah, that's why I was asking. Like, if you add the -- record, but then pass in like undefined as the or whatever, something blank as the key. If it will just fail silently and not record, or if it will.
Yeah. So what we have to do now is we don't do unset. And instead we would say, run Cypress, run just that, and otherwise, record.
Mm-hmm.
And then always, I'm always getting the semicolons wrong. So there must be one semicolon after the square brackets, then one after this command. Okay. I'll test this first on my machine.
Mm-hmm.
Bash. Okay. Seems to look good, and we can remove that one. Okay, I just force pushed. So now I'm really excited to see what will happen. Yeah, but it's good. It's a positive message that we see this error message here. Like it's good to see.
Yes. Then it's easier to track down what went wrong.
All right. So because it usually takes quite a while to watch the build server, I will do something else in the meantime.
Yep.
And that is, I was working on a new build from our database,
Mm-hmm.
and I just, I loaded the dump, and as you can see, avatars are still broken, badges are broken, but what I was interested in is if the tags have been correctly created, because there was a problem that we would assign a unique ID to the tag if for every post, for every tag of the post, we will create a new tag with a unique ID, meaning that if you have two tags with the same string, so have you, let's say, hashtag awesome, and another post with hashtag awesome, it will create two different tags with different unique IDs, which is not what we want.
No.
And now I'm really, really excited or interested to see if we have proper tags. No, we don't. We have categories and I just had to wait. Yes, works. Peace is the most used hashtag. Cool, not too bad. Peace.
Nice.
German name for peace.
Frieden.
Frieden. Yes.
We're doing our German classes, you know. So I know how to say ein veganes Brot, bitte.
What?
Ein veganes Brot, bitte.
What do you want to say?
It's
Can
like
you
a vegan
type
bread,
it, please?
Ein veganes Brot, bitte.
Maybe you want to ask for a vegan bread?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I think you did an excellent job, but I think you mispronounced the very last word. You said Brot instead of Brot. So
How is it?
U is pronounced U, and O is pronounced O. So
Brot.
O different. Okay, so Brot and Brot are very, very different different words. I will give you the
right.
translation now. So what you want to say is this.
Brot.
Yeah. German, yeah, loaf.
Yeah.
But what you said is this one. Come on.
No, I don't want that. Brot. Oh. Brot.
Yeah, so it's not quite what you wanted to say.
No.
And also, I don't know if that's even possible, a vegan brood.
Yeah. I also and then I can use that to ask for a lot of different things, like ein Bier bitte.
Yeah, that's correct. But why do you want to ask for vegan bread? Because what bread would not be vegan?
You'd be surprised. I mean, well, I don't know in Germany, but like Italian bread is most all vegan as well. But like you have a lot of bread where they add eggs to it, or they add milk or something like that. You know.
Interesting.
We learned how to. Well, we were practicing how to ask for the ingredients, but it's like sind dar. I don't remember.
I guess you want to say, are there? Are there? This is mistranslated. It means are there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's correct.
Irgendwelche. It's difficult.
I don't know of any bread that's not vegan. I would be surprised to see eggs in the what's it called?
Dough.
Yeah, in the dough. You would. I mean, I was making my own bread for a while, and you would
Oh, nice.
you would only use yeast, and that's it.
Yeah, so just flour, yeast, water, salt. Some goes like olive oil or something like that. But
Well-
that's more for like pizza dough, I think. You know.
Yeah, that's okay. Olive oil, but certainly no eggs. I wouldn't even come. The idea wouldn't even come to my mind.
Yeah, it's strange. I mean, it's like eggs is more for like cake, right? Not for bread.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I'll have to look. I mean, it's funny because here in Brazil, like if you ask people like, what are the ingredients, they'll happily tell you like, oh, this it has milk, it has eggs, and then I just look at them like, you don't even know what's in the bread that you are selling. Like I can't believe you, because it's rare, but they just yeah, they just list what they think they want you to hear.
Now, so tags are fine. Tags are awesome. Now I'd like to know, why do we still have these stupid avatar block here? Like, where's the place where we accidentally add the API tag twice? So I go into the web app and I go to components and I go to avatar, and there's avatar. And we have computed, and there's the avatar URL, and it's that's interesting. Oh no, it's DS avatar. I see. Okay, DS avatar. I was thinking like maybe I was creating recursive component, like component rendering itself.
Yeah.
It's different. So starts with So the image source has the /API already. That's the problem here. And why do we have the API already? Seems to be in the backend then. I mean, how come that there is this /API URL here? Let's check the database first. Maybe the path is hard-coded into the database. Match of type user, return u, limit 1. Oh, yeah, that's it. That is it. Oh, that's stupid. Okay, do you see this here, Greg?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm confused because the node is labeled Greg, but your name is Matt. Do you see this?
Mm-hmm.
And do you see the problem here? Like, where's the cause of error?
The API, well,
Yeah, so I'll show you this one. This is the fix URLs middleware. Okay, so we have this legacy URL.
Yep.
And it's trying to replace any of those legacy URLs with /API.
Yep.
Which is unfortunate because the backend knows part of the front-end implementation.
Mm-hmm.
So any URL, I guess the best fix here is to remove it entirely, no? What happens when I just remove it? Nothing. But badges are suddenly there. Someone is knocking at the window. I'll quickly open the door.
Okay.
Someone's knocking at the window. Shall I open the door?
No, he or she will ring the bell, so I'll open the door. It's okay.
He's standing right there.
Yeah, there's a doorbell, so I think.
Yeah, but he's really pointing to the door. Maybe. Shall I open the door?
If he or she looks okay.
Yes. He looks very okay.
Or maybe the bell doesn't work or something like that.
So, interestingly, badges are fixed, but the uploads are still not there. Yeah, and I know why. Of course, I know why, because I don't have all the images on my machine here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get a legitimate 404 error.
Yep.
So I guess all we have to do is just to remove the /API here.
Yep.
Which makes perfect sense. Yeah. Cool. Got 2 bugs fixed in no time. Awesome.
And it wasn't 8 hours.
No, not at all. So that broken avatar URLs badges are missing in production. Nice. two issues at once.
Yeah, this is the benefit of having the long feedback cycle. Is that why while it's running you can do something else?
Yet, I don't think it will really fix 799 because prefix from when I connected with the Kubernetes pod earlier this morning, I could see that the badges folder, the image folder, is just missing.
Yeah, I saw you. Yeah, I saw you post about that, and you still don't understand why that's happened.
Yeah, so I have the images here, and they all get served as they should. And on the Kubernetes pod, this image folder is missing. I wonder why. Anyhow, I would say let's merge this pull request first and then see what happens. I mean, it gets deployed, so we should see if both problems get fixed or resolved. And if not, we can still have a look into it. Okay. You can give me a code review if you want.
Yes.
Am I supposed to also add this to even the pull requests to a release if the corresponding issue belongs to the release already?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like not, because it kind of does cause confusion. Like when we're looking at like the burn down chart, and when we're seeing that there's like stuff that's not estimated, and then we realize it's not estimated because it's a PR.
Mhm.
But I don't know who. Maybe someone is actually like Ulf, I guess, is the only person I can think of is maybe actually is adding that.
He asked me to add them to the release, so I want to do as he said, but I'm just not sure what's the best behavior here. Like, also, I would agree that they should not be added to the release or the milestone if there's already an issue explaining the problem and being properly estimated and so on.
Yeah,
I think it just creates confusion. Yeah, but you can review that code review.
on 800.
Yeah, fix 800.
When you say review it, like, I mean, I saw what you did there. Like, I typically don't approve a PR until it's past the build.
Oh, yeah, but you can approve. You will not be able to merge it unless it passes the build. So you can approve it from what you see in the files changed. And if the build fails, then you did approve the pull request, but the build server didn't approve, let's say.
Yeah, but then the person can make changes that they push up, and then it's already been approved, and they can merge them in before.
Yeah, if you as the person think that you should re-request the code review, then you can do so, and then it's up to the responsibility of the person who does the changes.
I mean, in this case, I don't, like, I think it's very unlikely that it's not going to pass the build for the changes you make. I just noticed that, like, that it seems like there's a couple people that are in the habit of like approving things before knowing whether it's going to actually pass the build or not, and it seems to me that's not like a really good practice, because I think typically I don't even really want a review or want to give a review until like passing the build is like the first step.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess in this case it's only one file changed, and it's removing like 3 characters, so I think we're probably okay if I approve it.
And we are currently pair programming, so if something will change, you will get immediate feedback.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, now I would like to check out the Kubernetes pod. And earlier this day, the pod was empty, which is not so cool. So I go to the public folder and no image folder. No nothing. So I ask myself, why? And if I check out the Kubernetes cluster, Oh yeah. By the way, Matt, I have my 2 tokens for the admin user
Yep.
saved in my password database. It doesn't change. So maybe that's also a nice
Yes.
recommendation for you.
Yep. I saved it in LastPass.
So we have the uploads claim, and the uploads claim should be in the deployment of the backend. And if we have a look here into the configuration, then we should see it somewhere here. So containers, volumes, there we go. Persistent volume claim, claim name, uploads claim. And then we just assign it a name. And holy, can you see anything, Matt? All I can see is this one so far. Ah, there it is. Mount path public / uploads. Yeah, but why on earth is public / empty? Like if it's mounting the volume here, then I expect as a subdirectory of public next to it to be not to be overwritten, right?
Yes.
Maybe the image is empty. Maybe there's something wrong with how Travis builds the image. Maybe that. Docker exec dash IT natural backend shell. No such container. Oh, right. I have to say run. Now, there's no public folder. There is no public folder. That's interesting. It's very interesting. I think there's something broken with the Docker ignore. Docker ignore. Yeah. No. Public uploads. That's okay. Ha. But maybe it's this one here, PNG.
Anything?
No. It's not possible because the badges are SVG files. Yeah, SVG files. Huh? What the heck? I really don't get why. Yeah, the entire public folder is empty. It's not there.
It's not being copied over.
Yep. Yeah, that's the problem here. You see it? We're pushing the production image, and the production image just has everything in ./dist, but not the .dist public folder. So what we have to do is to copy. We can copy it from the local file system. So we copy it dot public m to Nitro backend public emg. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So Dockerfile dot slash public images slash Nitro backend public images. Yep. We could make this a little bit better by reusing this variable, work directory. Work directory. There we go. Then, yeah, this should be enough. Okay, then, I would say rebuild the image. Why is the backend image not being rebuilt? I changed the Docker file. Oh, yeah, right, because we're not building target production. So I have to say f docker compose YAML. Because if I'm using the override, it's build a test target, which we don't want. We don't have the production target. Yeah. Right. Okay, cool. So all we have to do is wait. Okay, all checks have passed. I'm just missing the review for fix
470.
Yeah,
Okay.
470.
Let me go there. 470. Let's see what you did here. Yeah. Okay. Nice. All right. Did you see if it recorded or not?
Yeah, I have added a comment with a screenshot.
Oh, cool. Oh, sorry. Nice. So sorry. The screenshot you added is showing how long ago it was run, but
No, it's 8 minutes ago. Like it ran. Like
yeah. But this shows that it passed the build, right?
no, it's just oh
Oh, there's Cypress. Oh, right.
well,
Okay.
it's just showing that Cypress passed. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, the build passed, so since the build will fail if Cypress doesn't pass, Cypress necessarily has to pass. Like
So
it needs
yeah,
to
I
be
know.
during there.
So it was run, but it like from this photo, you can't tell whether it recorded or not.
Oh yes, you can, because it recorded it 8 minutes ago, whereas the third row you can see it was recorded 2 months ago.
Oh, right. So 6 minutes and 13 seconds is like that's the okay. Yeah, 2 months. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So let's prove this. Okay. Approved.
Yay. Merge. Delete branch. Now we should see I scored first blood on our, on our sprint.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, you can't see it. Oh no. So any issues that were closed on the first day, you will not see like the change because it's just starting at the y-axis.
Oh.
Too sad.
Oh, man. That's kind of counterintuitive. Makes people not want to start great out the gate, you know?
Mm. What? Ah, I'm so stupid. We don't even have to specify $work directory. Ah. Okay. Now I get it. Okay. I see what I was doing wrong. So since we are copying it from another image, we have to specify the absolute path.
Yeah, because working directory is not there.
Yeah, but what we can do is we use a working directory here because there we don't copy it from Builder, but we copy it from the local file system, and then we can use dot.
Yeah.
Okay. So once again, yeah, and there we have it. Yeah, I'm working on so many maintenance issues tonight. Like, it's necessary, but it's
You're at Blacksby working on feature development?
actually, I don't know. It's also kind of satisfying if you can finish like 3 things in one night.
Mm-hmm.
Working on a feature is more fun, I would say, or it's more where you can learn something. Doing the maintenance stuff is more like, okay, I see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's kind of necessary evil.
Yeah, it's reminding you of your own misbehavings and your failures.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it's not so satisfying. Okay, so now since actually I could even have a look in here. Server error. Nice. Cool. Well, not so cool. Hmm. Still, I wonder if this ever will create a bug on production, because the way I'm resolving this error here is I'm just clearing my session storage, and I wonder if that's actually that's the supposed way of doing it. Like, also, what I found out is that if you run the database import from Docker, I'm not able to create a dump from within the Docker container. I don't know if it is a problem or if it's not. I think I'm suspecting different versions of Neo4j, because on my machine, on my local machine, it's running 3.5.3, whereas in the Docker image, it's running 3.5.5. So maybe the developers of Neo4j were stupid enough to create incompatible dumps, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that would be pretty stupid. But yeah, I just don't know what's the problem here. Okay, yeah, so at least files are there again. And I might still see the same bug again, no? If the fix for the /API is on a different branch, what do you think?
If the fix for what's on the other branch?
Fix /800, fix #800. Like,
You haven't merged that one yet? Your own.
I'm always separating pull requests.
Yeah.
So, no, the patch is
Nice.
there.
Awesome.
Okay, so I believe I fixed it. Git checkout B. What's the issue name? $799. Who do you think I should make aware of this problem? I would say Ulf.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think T-Rock or Wolfgang would be interested?
Yeah, I think so.
And because Alex is just starting with Docker images, I'll just text everybody.
Yeah, it's better. Then you don't have no one feels left out.
Okay, push origin head. I like that here. It's what you showed me, Matt.
Head, yeah. Actually, the person who showed me that was Mike.
Nice.
Yeah. I think I've told you I'd never had a problem with doing get push that, but get pull for some reason I seem to have had some issues. Like it doesn't always work on.
Do you want to give me a code review for that one too?
Yes. So 800 failed for something.
Oh, I guess code coverage again.
No, looks like it failed the build. Let's see.
Yeah, I know. There are tests in the fixed image.
Yeah.
Okay.
It expected like /API, but actually it ends up having two forward slashes with then uploads, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, no problem. Yeah, this it's 1, 2 tests failed. Yeah, it should. I guess it should just replace it then. Simple enough. Yeah, that's something I really like about the test. If you do something wrong, then the software test is like a double check that if you want to change something regarding expected behavior, then you have to change things at 2 different locations. It's like a sanity check.
Mm-hmm.
Matt,
Yes.
I see that the test is still failing because of a duplicate slash.
Yeah. I
So
noticed that.
I could potentially just remove that slash,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know what would happen if I have to replace just the URL. But I mean, the URL itself will never be a real URL, like the URL of an image. So do you think it's safe to not write a test for that? Because I could, like, instead of replacing strings, I could use a pattern and match that string and match it only if there's a trailing slash, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think that's probably the safest option here, because if I replace the entire thing and just, yeah, guess that's the safest.
Make it disappear.
So it will not do anything for if you don't have. Oh yeah, it will still work if you have. Oh no, if you have a URL without the trailing slash, it will not replace it. If you have it, the trailing slash, it will.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I think it should be fine. No.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Probably.
Or should I do this? Just remove the prefix.
Yeah.
I mean, it must have a slash afterwards. Or is there any option of not having the slash at the beginning? I think I'm writing a test for it for this edge case.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to decide on like one side or the other, I think writing more tests is better than writing less.
buddy.
So I should see one failing test now. Yes.
Yep.
Perfect. And then string starts with. Nice, there's even a starts with method. Well, JavaScript, thank you.
Yes. That makes it easy.
If not. Like, it feels like a stupid edge case, especially since we want to remove this middleware entirely. But yeah, I mean, you see the point here, do you?
Yes.
So this should fix the build. There was nothing else except the backend tests that were failing, right?
I don't think I scrolled down all the way. All the Cypress tests are passed. Yeah, it's just the middleware.
Okay. Then we'll call the commit fix build, because it will fix the build. Hmm. 799 hasn't finished yet. Come on, Travis. It's interesting. It's now midnight here.
It's gotten quieter on your end.
A little bit, but I'm interested in ZenHub, if ZenHub takes into account the local time zone, because I should see that we changed from day 0 to day 1. Yes. Yes. Nice.
Nice.
So for the next, so then it was okay that build server has failed, because it gives us a little bit
At least something will get merged, right?
something where you can actually see like a small step here. At least for me. Not for you then.
Yeah, I'll have to wait a few hours.
No, I think it will not change for you, because even if you wait,
Yeah, it'll be
It will
merged
still-
in before.
yeah, I think the entire chart will look different for you.
Yeah, it's interesting, huh?
Philosophical questions. I also think that I will soon go to my room. So I would like to get these 2 pull requests merged in.
Yeah, I can help with
I
that.
think this is it for me for today.
I think I'm gonna head off as well. I've got these changes to the this branch that this PR that I'm working on, but then it's failing the build. and not the build. I haven't pushed it up. It's failing the test because, like, I'm trying to test that a person can change the language of the post, and then now with like the new, like I had it before it was passing because the languages were hard coded into the languages option for the select, but now they're using it like starts with an empty array, and then when the component mounts, it iterates. It calls a function that iterates over each of the locales in the environment variables, and like pushes them to the language options. And now it's like saying that there's no language options in the test, and like I said, like these data properties in Vue.js, you like apparently like with Vue test utils, you can use set data, which we're using in several different places. But for some reason, in this case, set data is not working. I don't know.
I could really follow your explanations. If you push up a pull request, I think that would make it easier for me to follow.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
Come on, Travis. I don't want to stay up all night.
I know what it is. I know what it is. I know what it is. Fucking shit. Sorry. Yes. Woo! Jeez, man. Why did it take so long? I don't know. I don't like using set data though. It feels hacky to me.
Set data is okay. You can set the data if you, for example, want to simulate a successful Apollo query. That's what I used for the user profile page, because otherwise you would have to. I don't know what the Apollo client is doing, but in the end it will update the particular data attribute. So it's perfectly fine to set the data manually, because it's difficult to set that in the test, or to set up the page component with that data. And it also happens during rendering that the property updates. So I don't see any problem with setting data for that case.
With the Apollo mutation isn't like, so you're not talking about like a mock resolved value, for example. You're talking about when that mock resolved value happens, that it updates like the data property, for example, and that doesn't happen in the test unless you call set data.
No, I'm not talking about mock resolved value. I'm talking about you configuring Apollo client for one component.
Yep.
And let's say, for example, user profile page has two queries, one for the user and another one for posts.
Mm-hmm.
You never see where the posts get updated. Like, that's somehow it's one of the secrets of Apollo client.
Yes.
And but eventually you will see that you have suddenly a data attribute for posts or for users, depending how you named the query. So if you want to simulate a successful, like this, if you want to simulate this situation after a request resolved, and you're not really interested into the loading state or whatever, then you can just set that data, and then that's it.
I mean, I can show you. You can see my screen. I can show you just quickly, like what I ended up doing. Like maybe before I push it up, think of a better way. Like So I originally had a hard-coded USAW, so now I've passed it in as an array. And I tried to pass this in as like a function, but it doesn't accept that. Like the style guide expects it to be an array. I passed it in as an array, and then what I've said is like when the component mounts, then like call this function available locales, and then available locale grab the like order first, and then by name, and then it'll grab like the process.env.locales, and it will map those. And for each locale, it'll
Why is it process.env.locales?
what's that?
Why is it even process.env?
I'm not sure. I think it's like it's globally available in the.
Can you just not simply require
import
locales?
like house?
Much easier.
So then here I would do like import locales from, and then do like this locales.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then here
I don't know what it returns, but I believe it's an array of objects.
I think so. But it's also like a module.export, which is like globally exporting it, right?
I think so. I mean, you can refactor this to use the ECMAScript syntax if you want.
Yep. Let me see, process.env. Okay, I think that's all the places. So
yeah, I would like to. I would try to avoid process.env.
Okay.
Hey, 799 has passed.
Okay.
I'll merge. Okay.
Yeah, I've proved it. Right? Yeah. So I guess I need to remove the. I just recently started using this dot only from Jest, to like run one test at a time. I was thinking about you the other day because this test here, this contribution farm, like I was experiencing some weird behavior that I was going to talk about in the PR actually, where I was running the jest.clearAllMocks function to make sure that like it was the mock function was being called when I thought it was being called. And when I did that, it ended up causing 2 failures. And so that was a clear indication to me that there was like some tests that was leaking over to another test, like the actual function was being called in a different test. And so I wasn't testing what I thought I was testing. But then I ran like it.only. So I ran the test in isolation, and the test passes in isolation. Yeah, look at this. So it's really weird. Like, I mean, this
should not happen.
This is maybe a misunderstanding. I have like a lack of understanding of how this clearAllMocks works, but like my understanding would be that it that it clears like all of the mock calls and clears all the mock instances, which I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I would think that like, so these are the 2 tests that are failing. It pushes to the user's post page.
Maybe you're confused by the variable name mocks and the mocks from Jest. So Jest has mock functions. So anywhere you have, for example, jest.fn, that's a mock function. That's controlled by Jest.
Yeah.
But the mocks are certainly not cleared if you call any method that's coming from Jest, because the mocks is just a simple object. And it's
I mean, in this case, they are Jest functions, like Jest success and this router push. They're Jest functions, and and they're saying that they're called 0 times. But then if I run that same test by itself, then it passes. Which
not very good. Maybe you have some lazy loading accidentally implemented. Like if you run the method to set up the wrapper, it's reusing the old wrapper maybe.
Yeah, like I have the wrapper is running like before each of the tests, you know.
I think there's the problem. Pretty sure. Like not at the definition of the function, that should be fine, but the before each, you have in the before each, you're doing things. So that's where you say, yeah, look at that. So you assign wrapper, and I think somewhere below, is it might it be possible that you could you scroll up a scroll down a little bit? Sorry. So anything that's in the before each block above will run before the before each block here.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what I end up doing is just removing the clear all mocks, because, like, with the confidence of knowing that I ran each of these tests in isolation, and they both passed in isolation, which means I think, you know, that gives me the confidence that they're doing what I think they're doing. But it's just really weird to me that they would be failing if I'm clearing the mocks. But yeah, maybe it's not. Maybe it's because, like you're saying, something like this is not asynchronous. Like this, but this is asynchronous, right? Because it has return. So return is like
no. It returns. If it returns, it doesn't mean it is asynchronous. I don't think that mount is asynchronous at all.
Because I thought that
No. Async await.
I thought that what's his name? Ulf recently said in a PR review that return is like, look at that, and that passed. I don't know. Now all of them failed. Sorry.
Yeah, because you're not returning what you're awaiting here.
Right. But then you can't do a return await.
You can return await.
But it's like, then you need to like disable the linting, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not good practice. And then you have all the.
I never use clear all mocks. So I would, in general, I would ask you not to use it, especially if it's behaving slightly strange.
Yeah, but I think it's like I think there's places that we have tests that are actually testing things that we're not. They're testing things that we don't. That we think they're testing something, but it's actually not testing it. Because if you have, like, for example, here, like I have like invalid form submission, and then I have valid form submission, right? So then this here, like this mock, this like the first submission here, like it calls a method like, for example, router.push.
Yeah, okay, but where do you initialize mocks? The mocks object.
Yeah, so that's the other thing, is that I'm setting the mocks as a constant instead of like using it in a before each block.
Yeah, so you should not do that. So I would reinitialize mocks every time. So just have a let mocks here, and then copy that. Let's just say let mocks, and then copy mocks and initialize it in a before each block. I think this is much more reliable. By the way, since the mount method that you were returning, like the result of the mount method, just think of that. Mount is coming from view test utils. So it's a method that you import from a test library. In a testing environment, promises do more harm than good. So I would believe I wouldn't believe that mount or shallow mount are asynchronous. That would be quite annoying, because then you have to deal with promises and so on, and it's so easy to simply forget to await in a test setup.
So that's still.
You don't need to say after each.
I know. I'm planning on leaving it here. I just want to see, like, because it was passing before as well, so like that doesn't show me any difference by adding it to it before each block. But if this then passed as well, then yeah, so that gives me more confidence that like adding this to the before each block is actually resetting the mocks each time.
Certainly.
I mean, I think it's like I think for me, it's like you were saying about. I mean, maybe slightly different, but like you were saying about doing mutation testing, where it's like just trying to have a high like feeling of confidence that you're actually testing what you think you're testing.
Yeah, you have to do mutant testing in any case. Like it could always be that you write a test that it's not testing anything. So that's and 800 has failed again this time because of linting errors.
Oh, really?
Going crazy. Yeah, I'll probably not wait until the build.
I can merge it tonight.
Yeah, that would be great because I want to get some sleep.
Yeah, no worries. I think like the these handle errors tests like is really noisy. There's like 3 different awaits, and I think there's got to be a better way of doing it instead of like having one mock at the very top that sets like a resolved value once and a rejected value. Like maybe we could just set the mocks, like set the Apollo mutation to reject, and then just trigger the submission once, knowing that it'll reject. But anyways, I guess it's a refactor.
Yeah. I'm running into this kind of problem very often, that you have your test set up, and then you're doing the test setup first, and then you create the wrapper at some point, and you would like to have it like you want to have it dry, don't repeat yourself.
Yeah.
But also you want to maybe I want to vary now this here, and then I want to vary this here, and then suddenly it doesn't really fit together anymore, and that's just difficult. You have to sometimes you have to refactor the test cases or the test setup. That's normal. I'm running into this very, very often.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. That was great.
Matt, I think I have pushed 800 again. So this turns green. You're very welcome to merge that pull request.
Yes, I will.
Cool.
Thanks, man.
Okay. I would say this is it for tonight.
So tomorrow you're gonna be you're gonna go do a tour, and then I'll see you later in the day probably.
Yeah. So when I will be at the tour, that will be 10 a.m. German time.
So I'll be asleep.
So yeah, you will be asleep for sure. But I mean, depending how long the tour will take, I might be able to even attend the daily stand-up, but I guess I will not be able. So yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'll probably see you tomorrow.
See you. Was a good pairing.
Yes. Nice.
There, I will stop the broadcast now. After quite some hours.
Yes.